And I am a senior project manager at SEIC, which is a subcontractor for NASA, which has been my career for the past 30 years. I guess I started at age of 5. But when I was asked, and so thank you, Felicia, for asking me, and Dominique for asking me, but I am the mother of a son who was the victim of a crime in Huntsville. So I'm coming in a little different perspective for mothers that are here, and for you young people that I want to share with you how the ripple effect of family. And for everybody that loves mom, everybody loves mom. Just say, yes, I love mom. Yes, I love mom. Yes, we do. And mothers love their children. We baby our children. In our whole life, we want to protect our children and we nurture them. And if anybody messes with our baby, you know, we want to just get you. You don't mess with my baby. And I tell you that my son, it happened in Huntsville on April the 23rd, 2010, right down the street at a little place called Oasis. How many of you know about it? Okay. His name is Lamar Richardson. He was a basketball player. Brian, raise your hand, knows him very well. Good young man. Have fun. And he had just turned 21. He was a student at UNA. Turned 21 on a Wednesday, came home for the weekend, as he should, to celebrate his birthday. Met me at the mall, brought him a red hat, some red shorts, our t-shirt, so he could just look cute for the night. And he is a fisherman, and he stopped by his partner's house and said, well, let's go fishing. Okay, but everybody's like, oh, you just turned 21, let's just take you out, man. Stopped by to see my parents. I said goodbye to him, not knowing that at 2:15 in the morning, I would get a call that my son had been shot 5 times. And what had happened, because Oasis that night was so packed because they asked the money, they don't care about fire codes, they won't let everybody get in. He stepped on someone's shoe on his way to the bathroom because the place was extremely crowded. And that's normal. Being taught by a mother who taught him to say politely, excuse me, I'm sorry, my bad, whatever. The man looked at him as though he wanted to kill him. He went on to the bathroom. And after he left the facility, it was closed down, he was talking to his godson, which is Darian Stewart in Jerry-Street. Darian probably then plays for the St. Louis Rams. He was, the next day was draft. And he was talking to him in the car, getting over like you guys do. This coward who shot him, because that's exactly what he is in my perspective right now, came up behind him, shot him in the back one time, paralyzed him, he fell to the ground. Because he still wanted to continue to be a coward, he shot him 3 more times in his stomach, 1 last time in his chest, a ½ centimeter from his heart. All because he stepped on his shoe. So I tell you, as a mother, to get a call that your son has been shot 5 times, the very first thing that normally happens today is no way that he's alive. But there's God, who was there that night and said that not now. I have something for Trey. Not only for Trey, but for his family and those around him to do. So my story today, young people, is, and my plea is that when we participate, and there were thousands of kids out there, I'm exaggerating, there's probably 500 more, in that parking lot who saw. And to this day, no one has ever paid the price for shooting Trey because no one's ever been caught, because no one said anything. His back was turned. Do you think he saw it? So what I'm saying is that, and I'm so glad Ken said what he said, either we're participating or we're sitting back silently watching. Either way, we're still participating. But the saying is that you don't snitch. But because Trey now, he went through 3 months of rehab, he still cannot walk without a brace on his leg. So from his knee down to his foot on his right, he cannot do like you and I doing and watch my foot. So guess what? He drives with his hands. But he has a brace that goes under, and as long as he has the brace on, he can. He learned to do that. So he went from a wheelchair to a walker to a cane to a brace. But there's a God. And that's why he is where he is now. So I came just from a mother's perspective. and let you know that from that moment on, my life changed totally. To almost lose your child, and then to watch him have to struggle in his whole life at a young age, at the pivotal time of his life, had to change. And he had to make up his mind, either I was going to let this continue to take me down, or I was going to be determined to not let this person who did that violent crime get the ultimate win. So his determination